Hello, my name is Carrie Coonan, and it is a pleasure to introduce myself as the principal of Raynor Country Day School. I've been a member of the Raynor family for more than 25 years, and I've had the distinct pleasure of having my own 3 children experience all that Raynor Country Day School has to offer. We get to welcome you to the 2022-2023 school year with this open house presentation. The following video package will share highlights of your child's classroom experience here at Raynor. We also hope it will introduce you as a parent to the routines and responsibilities that your child experiences every day. Here at Raynor Country Day School, we believe in providing your child with academics for their mind, athletics for their body, and arts for their soul, with an overwhelming priority to help develop their inner character and allow them to go out into the community and learn to be a servant leader. I know that you are certain to enjoy the presentations provided by our very talented Raynor Country Day School staff members. And also, I know that you will call on me if I can be assistance to you or your family in any way as we move through this new school year together. Enjoy this digital presentation.
Welcome to 4th grade's virtual open house for this school year. My name is Angela Yacarino and I am the 4th grade teacher here. This is my first year at Raynor. I'm very much enjoying my time here and I'm looking forward to a wonderful rest of our school year. A little bit about myself just before we get into the classroom routines, procedures, curriculum. I'm a recent graduate from St. Joseph's University in Patchogue, where I received my dual degree in child study and speech communication. I received dual certifications for birth through 6th grade special and gen ed teaching. I'm currently pursuing my master's there in severe and multiple disabilities. A little bit more about myself. On the weekends, I love to spend time with family. I love to go out on the boat and enjoy the beach and the water. We have jumped into reading. As far as independent reading goes right now, the students have chosen independent reading books. This is just the first book of the year that they've started reading. We're only into, I think, about chapter 3 for most students, but this is something that if they have a little extra time they could read. Sometimes they jump into it for morning work, and that is as far as our independent reading goes. Eventually, probably more towards November, we will start book clubs where the students will be grouped in 2 or 3, maybe 4. Based on their reading levels, we'll kind of have a conversation about books that they're interested in and things that they want to learn more about. That way they could meet in as a group and they could discuss topics of main idea of the story, the author's purpose, making inferences of those chapter books, so that way they're in a group and they're having a little bit more fun while reading. The ultimate goal is for them to develop a sense of love for reading and that they want to read on their own. That's again reinforced with a reading log that gets sent home every single week. On the reading log, they fill out the title of the book, the author, how many pages they read, parent signs off on it, and then they also give me a quick little summary of what they read. That way I know that they're engaged in the reading and that they're taking something out of it. That goes home every single week, and it is due on Fridays. That's just to reinforce, continuing to read at home. Another piece of reading that we are doing in our class right now is we started the novel 4th grade Rats, and that is something that we are reading as a class. We read, we dive into it, we look at different pieces of it, we talk about the main idea, the characters is a big one, and character traits that we pull out of the story, and that's something super engaging for the students. So this year, each week, they will be diving into a grammar lesson. The lesson will look a little different each week, but it will follow a similar format. And on Mondays, they'll be introduced to the topic. Tuesday, they'll do some sort of worksheet activity that they'll be able to interact with it. Wednesday, they'll be actually able to take what they learned and use it in some sort of way, whether that's writing sentences or coming up with some sort of an idea with it. Thursday, we will do some sort of like a task card where they are practicing, and then on Friday, they will have a quick little assessment to see what they got out of it, if we need to follow up with some reinforcers or if we can move on to a different topic. So this week it looked like in their grammar notebook we learned about the different types of adverbs, and they made a list as a class in their notebooks of the different types of adverbs and some examples. We then on Tuesday in our notebooks created a little flip chart of the different types of adverbs, and we made sentences with those different types of adverbs. We will follow up on Wednesday, and they will create sentences about specific adverbs and how to use them. And on the last day this week, we're actually going to be doing task cards. We'll be working in groups where they'll be given a sentence and 2 words will be highlighted, and they'll have to decide which word is the adverb, and they'll have to jot that down. And then that will continue throughout the groups for them to finish and answer each question, whether it's an adverb or not. That will be Thursday. Friday, we'll follow up with the assessment. Nothing serious, just a little quick 5 questions to see what they got out of it, 5 or 10 questions to see what they got out of it, to see if we need to go back and kind of look at it again or if we can move on to a new topic. So that's as far as grammar each day. It's a quick little lesson. It doesn't take long, just to reinforce, to help us in our writing and our reading. For vocabulary and spelling this year, they will alternate between one another. For vocab, they have their vocab workshop books. That's where the words will be coming from, and the activities, the homeworks that get sent home for that will come right out of that textbook or workbook. So those words will be assigned on a Monday. We'll have the whole entire week to study and get familiar with those words. We'll make flashcards. We'll do some practice with them. We'll do group work, individual work, just getting to know those words. The second week, we will follow up. We will start doing some homework assignments out of the vocab workshop book and leading up to the test that is going to be on that following Thursday. So they have about 9 days to study those words, really get to know them, and practice them. That way they can use them in their everyday reading, writing, speaking. Some tools that definitely are helpful. On my Google Classroom, under online resources, you can find a vocabularyworkshop.com link that actually takes you to the page where students are able and have access to different games and activities that they're able to play to practice their vocabulary terms and really get to know them well. As far as spelling goes, that will be alternated between vocabulary. Usually the words will be assigned on a Monday. We'll do some practice with them in their spelling notebooks, practice writing the words, seeing the words, writing sentences with the words, how to use the words, and that will probably be tested on a Friday as long as we have the whole week for them. Students will be given a pretest to ensure that the words aren't too challenging or too easy for them, and that is what we will do for spelling and vocab for this. In writing, we have started our personal narratives unit. Students have started to formulate their writer's notebook. They have started to be gathering different resources that they can use in their writing. We are going to each day dive into some sort of a mentor text or a story that is an example of a personal narrative. We'll talk about it. We'll discuss different ideas. Some days children will spend a lot of time writing. Other days we'll be collaborating as a class, coming up with different ideas for writing. Each unit, they will create their own writing portfolio. that they will be able to put their final drafts of their writing in this, and this will be able to be viewed and looked at by other students, parents, teachers of their final drafts of each unit. So we're starting with personal narratives. We'll go into some informational writing. We will go into persuasive writing and different types of writing that will develop their writing abilities further as writers. We have kicked off our social studies unit this year. You might be able to take a guess with the map behind me, but we are starting with landforms, resources, and regions. We're focusing on specifically the United States regions with a focus on New York, but we are looking at the globe as a whole. We're researching different things about the globe. We're looking at different hemispheres, different climates, temperatures, regions, landforms, but we're focusing on New York and the specifics about New York. Later on, in a couple of weeks after we wrap up this unit, you will find us learning about Native Americans, the age of exploration. Afterwards, we'll talk about the Revolution, what leading up to the Revolution, the American Revolution, and then the post-American Revolution. And we'll also touch base about the government and things like that. Social studies is going to be super interesting for fourth grade. There's a lot of interesting things that relate directly to them. I think it's awesome, and I've already seen them have a lot of interest in talking about New York and the different features of New York. So we've had a wonderful time with social studies. Social studies work consists mostly out of our textbook, but it reinforces with different projects that I have them do, videos that we watch all the time about the specific topics. As far as homework for social studies, there's not going to be a nightly assignment for social studies, more project-based, but those will be assigned way in advance. They'll be discussed thoroughly in class and then followed up and have an extended time to work on to ensure that those projects have enough time to be completed. As far as our science curriculum, so far we've started our scientific method unit, talking about the 6 different steps and what the scientific method really is and how it works and how to use it. Just behind me is something that we just finished as a class. We took some great notes about each of the steps and we talked about it, and now we're reinforcing what we discussed, and they're actually using the scientific method to create these wonderful building models constructed out of just paper straws, paper clips, and tape. The students are just now realizing how hard that task really is. And we are going to be performing different little experiments on those models, seeing if they can withstand a certain amount of weight and different things like that. So as far as science right now, we're going into the scientific method. Afterwards, we'll follow through with life science, and we will talk about different classification, non-living and living, adaptations, and so on and so forth. We'll follow through, and we will continue with Earth and the rock cycles, which is pretty interesting. We have a lot of hands-on labs that will be able to examine different rocks and things like that. And then towards the end of the year, we will talk about physical science a little bit, and then in the middle of the year in there will be the science fair as well, but tons of information will go home about that, and that will be talked about a lot in class as far as that goes.
Hi, my name is Cassidy Rodriguez, and I'm the 5th and 6th grade social studies teacher, as well as the 4th, 5th, and 6th grade math teacher. I'm so excited to get this 2022-2023 school year started and have a great, exciting time with all of your students. A little bit about me is that I graduated from Long Island University with a degree in elementary and special education, as well as a concentration in sociology. Prior to attending Long Island University, I attended the University of Hartford, where I played Division I lacrosse. I really love sports. I love watching sports. I love playing sports. And I recently just picked up the sport of golf, so I'm slowly but surely getting better at it. I have 4 ducks who me and my husband raise at home in our backyard. And I also have 2 dogs, 2 large dogs. I have a Doberman Pinscher and a Pit Bull Mastiff mix. My hobbies include fishing, reading, going out on the boat. I love to craft. I have a Cricut and a bunch of different little craft tools that I love to bring into the classroom and allow the students to use with me on Fun Fridays and indoor recess days. So I'm really looking forward to getting to do that with my students again and sharing some of my love and some of my hobbies that I personally have, and creating an outlet for the students to experience them and maybe pick up some hobbies on their own. This school year, your child could look forward to a lot of fun events that we have planned. Personally, my favorite being Pi Day. I know Mr. C's is May the 4th. He's a big Star Wars fan. So we like to celebrate as many days as we can and get a lot of activities that we would normally do in school to combine with some outside influences and get the kids engaged and excited to learn. Super excited to be teaching 4th grade math this year. I think it's so special that I'm able to teach all 3 grades in the middle school their math curriculum this year. Just a little bit about my math class. I know that Ms. Icarina will require the students to have 1 large binder, and I do have one math portion into that binder. That's where we'll put all of our modules, our homework assignments, any note sheets that the students may acquire over the course of my class, so that's all organized in one place. I do like to use the McGraw-Hill My Math textbook. We have done a lot of work in this textbook already. It just perfectly aligns with our curriculum this year, and it's just easy to have it all in one spot. With 4th grade math, we are learning place value, metric measurement, multi-digit multiplication and division, and the introduction to fractions. So I'm super excited to be working with your students. I have a lot of hands-on manipulatives that correlates with the 4th grade curriculum, so I'm super excited about that, and the students will be too. And I can't wait to incorporate what I've learned from 5th and 6th grade math and get to teach your 4th grade students.
As far as expectations for 4th grade this year, we are jumping from the elementary school to the middle school, so I do give the students a lot of responsibility, but I know they can handle it. I've seen they can handle it. They are responsible for ensuring that they have their materials, they have them in the right place because they have lockers, they have desks, they switch classrooms. So they are responsible for making sure that they have what they need on the certain given day. Of course, I give reminders and I post things on the board to give them reminders of what they need when they need them. Each day, our students copy down their homework, which is posted on the board. They copy it down for the day. If they have any important reminders, any events coming up, I go around and check their agenda books. I'm going to do that in the beginning of the year until I feel that they have a sense of responsibility. I see that everyone is understanding the task that I'm giving them and that they're copying the homework down correctly. Eventually, I'll stop checking in and the responsibility will be fully on them. After I check their agenda books, we pack up. They grab their folder, they grab any materials that they might need for homework, they empty their lockers, and they get ready for dismissal. They're responsible to bring home their homework materials, so if I post on the board that they have vocabulary assignment, they need to know that they need to bring their vocabulary book home in order to complete that assignment each night.
Hi, my name is Emily Toon. Welcome to the middle school building.
Hello, my name is Gabriel. I'm graduating from 6th grade this year.
Hi, my name is Leo, and we're so excited to show you our school.